injury. Are you okay? Look at me.
This Wolfman version that's coming from Blumhouse is one of my most anticipated movies of this year. Mostly because it's Leigh Whannell that's writing and directing. He made the remake of The Invisible Man also. And that was a really great reimagining of the 1930s-40s Invisible Man. Well, not really that one, but the character, and it was a more modern take on the character. For me, a really good remake shouldn't really remake the movie shot for shot. It shouldn't remake the original beat by beat. It should have the ground elements that made the original work, but do its own thing. Because there's no point in making the same exact movie over again, even if it's been like 70, 80 years or something like that. So with this movie, I was really hopeful because I do like the character of the Wolfman or werewolf characters and so on, and I like Leigh Whannell's 3 previous movies. Well, at least 2, Upgrade and The Invisible Man. And this movie does new things. It is about a family instead of just one man and a woman, like in the original. And it's more of a dysfunctional family. They are really not that good with each other. Well, the dad and daughter are, but not the mom and dad. The dad character, he also struggles with his temper like his own dad, and it affects his life with his wife and daughter. His own dad kind of gave him a hard upbringing. He was very harsh with him when he was a boy, and now he has some issues controlling his temper both with his wife and his daughter. Not that he's really abusive, he's not really physically harming them. He just yells sometimes. And he also gets the death certificate of his dad one day, who went missing when he was a boy. And he's never seen him since then. And the keys to his childhood home where he grew up. He decides to vacation there with his wife and daughter to fix his relationship with his wife. On the way there, a creature pops out on the road and they crash into it and have an accident. Before that, they have met this local that's called Derek, and he leads them to the house because the father, he doesn't remember where it was exactly. So when they hit the creature and get into the accident, Derek is thrown to the side of the car and he's attacked by the creature. The creature also manages to bite or scratch the dad and then disappears. Well, not fully. The family gets out of the car and they get chased by something, the creature they hit, and they run to the house because now he's found the house, and they run inside the house and lock themselves in. The creature tries to get in, but suddenly just stops trying, or at least for now. And that's where the real movie begins, because that's where most of the tension is. It's inside the house. Because the dad is the one that's gonna be transformed into the Wolfman. And I thought that this movie was actually a good movie because I've seen some negative reviews on this and I don't really think it's that bad. It has some flaws, but it's overall not a bad movie. I thought it built some suspense in most of the movie. I thought it looked great when it comes to cinematography and production design. The acting from the cast is really good too. And the story overall works. It's not a flawless story or a flawless script, but it did what it was supposed to do, even though it wasn't perfect. I think many were wanting something in their head, like a werewolf, and not really a wolfman, because a wolfman is a mix between a wolf and a man. A werewolf is mostly a wolf, just bipedal. So I thought the transformation was good, maybe a little slow here and there, but it was good because he's not supposed to be a full wolf or a werewolf, he's Wolfman. And I thought the sound design, what they were doing with what he's hearing, how he's hearing someone else talk, it was really interesting. Really creative sound design. He basically heard the wife and the kid talking to him like a real animal, probably. He was just hearing the tones in the voices, not really the words. And that would be like a dog or a cat listening to a human. So that was a very interesting sound design choice. And something unique. It's not been done before in this kind of Wolfman or werewolf movie. The practical effects here also are great. They look realistic, they look transitional, like you really see the transition from him being a totally normal man and then just transforming slowly to a wolf man. And from what I saw, it's mostly practical, unless he's doing something that a human just can't do, like making big jumps from place to place or something like that. Christopher Abbott is great in the role as Blake, as the Wolfman. And Julia Garner is also good as his wife, Charlotte. And Matilda Firth is great as the couple's daughter. The issues I had with the movie is that the ending was predictable and it had some pacing issues during the movie. And here I will mention some spoilers, so you are warned. The ending is predictable because we get to see a mile away that the main character is going to die. And he does die at the end. Unless they want to make a sequel later on, if this is successful or something. But I don't think it was like Leigh Whannell's other movies, his first two movies, they are kinda concluded by a really good finality to them. Invisible Man was also killed by the main character. And the movie before that, Upgrade, the main character had a final thing too. His arc was completed in that movie, so there's no need for sequels. But I guess if this is successful, Universal will find a way to make a sequel to this. And going back to the reactions to this movie, I really don't think this was a terrible movie at all. The only other issue I had with this movie was the pacing, where you kind of didn't have neither story development or character development. Besides that, I really think this was a good reimagining of the original Wolfman and a good remake to it. It all depends on what you wanted. If you just wanted a werewolf and a lot of werewolf action, a lot of blood, a lot of gory scenes, then you will kind of be disappointed, even if this really has gore and body horror to it. Not really that big body horror or that bad, but it had body horror and it had gore. But if you just want werewolf action, then you will be disappointed by this movie. I'm giving this movie a 6 out of 10. If you liked this video, please like, share and subscribe. Also, don't forget to smash the bell icon so that you don't miss any of my future videos. This has been Boogeyman Cinema. Thank you for watching.